In a time not far from our own, in a land where spirits still whispered to those who listened, and under the blazing sun of Odanwo, a bustling town nestled between golden savannas and sacred baobab trees, stood a small beauty salon called Glow of the Ancestors. It was owned by the mysterious but elegant Madam Sika, a woman whose ageless beauty and charm captivated everyone who laid eyes on her. Rumor had it she hadn't aged in 50 years, and she is a woman whose hands could sculpt beauty and whose powders carried power. Efua, a teenage girl in worn clothes, works as a housemaid but dreams of marrying a nobleman. One day, while scrubbing the floors outside a rich merchant's house, she wipes sweat from her forehead, watching noble ladies pass by, glamorous and admired. If only I could be like them. Just once. She saves all her money, whispering to herself, "They say Madame Sika can make anyone beautiful. Even me." So, she sneaks out at night under a full moon to Madame Sika beauty store. When the winds whispered strange songs, Efua stepped into the salon. The air was thick with scent, jasmine, myrrh, and mystery. Madame Sika, seated like a queen carved from the earth, looked up and said, "You seek beauty, but do you know its cost?" Efua nodded, clutching her coins. And so the powder was given. A small jar, wrapped in red twine, glowing faintly. "Borrowed beauty," Sika warned. "Very well, but listen closely. This enchanted powder will show others what you wish them to see. Yet beauty borrowed from the spirits must be returned before the new moon fades, or the cost will be heavy." The next morning, Odanwo awoke to a wonder. Efua, once unnoticed, now shimmered like sunrise after rain. Her steps were followed, her name whispered, her path cleared wherever she walked. Even the nobles, who once ignored her, now bowed low with gifts and promises. Hojo, sadly, "That is not the Efua I knew." Auntie Na, gossiping to another woman, "Did you hear? Even the chief's son asked for her hand." Efua laughs loudly with new friends, ignoring old friends. With each passing day, Efua climbed, but each step up meant forgetting a piece of where she came from. Kojo, the sculptor who once shared roasted maize with her, tried to reach her heart. "They adore your glow, Efua," he said. "But what happens when the light fades?" But she only laughed, cloaked in silks. "Maybe you're just jealous, Kojo. Look at me, I have everything now." She turns away coldly, shadowed by pride. And then it began. First a tiny line, then two, then three. Her reflection shimmered, fractured. Efua, gasping, "No! It must be the dry weather." But each day, more cracks. Her beauty flickers like a dying candle. People whisper behind her back, but this time with fear. Some start to avoid her. The powder's enchantment was unraveling. Her borrowed beauty was slipping away. On a night of thunder and truth, she returned. Her voice cracked like dry wood as she begged, "Please, Madame Sika, save me." The old woman only looked into the storm and said, "To return what was borrowed. You must journey where truth lives. In the forest of echoes, find the mirror of truth. Only then shall you be made whole. And so she went into the forest, where the leaves remember and the wind tells no lies. She faced trials designed not by beasts, but by her own deeds. She met shadows of her lies from the smoke. Her own reflections appeared, ghosts of her deception. Each one whispered the lies she had told, to be admired, to belong, to rise faster than truth could carry her. They laughed, they mimicked, they spun the tales she had woven. I have always been noble. They loved me for who I am. I don't need anyone. She tried to run, but the shadows followed, because they were part of her. To pass, she did not fight. She confessed. Her voice broke as she admitted her pride, her shame, her hunger for validation. And with every truth she spoke, a shadow vanished like mist under sun. Next, a gentle spirit elder appeared and said only this: "Carry water in this basket to the fire beneath the hill. Without it, you cannot continue." She laughed, thinking it simple. But as she walked, the water dripped through. Again and again, she failed. Frustration bloomed. She cried. She nearly quit. But then she sat, she breathed, and slowly she began to patch the holes, stitch by stitch, journey by journey. When at last the fire was quenched, the spirit bowed and vanished. Patience, after all, is not waiting. It's working wisely. At last, she reached a quiet pond nestled in ancient roots. It shimmered, but not with magic, with memory. This was the mirror of truth, not made of glass, but of stillness. As she gazed, her face changed from noblewoman to housemaid to child to all she had ever been. She saw her flaws, her kindness, her hunger, her mistakes, her dreams. She saw herself not as the world wanted, but as she truly was. And for the first time, she did not turn away. She wept not because she was ashamed, but because she finally understood her worth was never in how she looked, but in who she had become. The pond rippled, the light lifted, and with that, her curse broke. The forest no longer whispered. It sang, for she had passed, not by force, not by perfection, but by truth. When she returned, Odanwo barely recognized her, but one soul did, Kojo, and in his gaze she saw not pity, but peace. He did not kneel, nor bow. He only said, "Welcome back, Efua," and she knew she was home. As for Madame Sika, the salon vanished days later. No one saw her leave, yet her name remained. Some say she was a spirit sent to test hearts. Others say she became the wind that cools the skin after we cry. And so, children of Odanwo and beyond, remember this: beauty painted on will fade like morning mist, but beauty grown from truth, that lasts beyond the moon. And so, the tale of Efua reminds us of something many forget in this world of mirrors and masks. That beauty, true beauty, is not found in the shimmer of powders or the praises of strangers. It is not worn like fabric or painted like clay. It is grown from truth, from pain, from patience, from knowing who you are, even when the world tries to tell you otherwise. Efua believed she needed magic to be seen, but in the end, it wasn't the powder that made her radiant. It was her courage to face herself, cracks and all. So when next you look into a mirror, ask not, am I enough? But do I know who I am? For that answer, dear listener, is where your glow begins. And from that day, the wind in Odanwo carried a new kind of whisper, not of vanity, but of wisdom. The salon called Glow of the Ancestors was never seen again, but its lesson remained. For those who seek beauty must first find truth, and those who find truth, they shine forever. I hope this story inspires you, and please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, and see you in our next story. Love from Tales That Teach.